Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fantasy Sports Island. Guys, look who's here with a bag on his head. Is that the Fantasy Rolls Royce? Oh, the shame. 0-2 last week. We ripped him a new one. His Rolls Royce broke down. But he's here, guys. Even with the bag on his head. Take that thing off. Royce, let's go.
Welcome back, Royce.
It's safe. You're in a safe place.
Oh, wow.
And guys, welcome in Johnny Ballgame.
What's up?
And Tony Sir Poops a lot.
Hey.
And let me tell you what happened last week. Johnny Ballgame went Johnny Ballgame on us.
Yeah,
Johnny blew up, guys. I thought I had a week. I thought I had it won in our big money league. I dominated. Johnny needed about 110 points to win the week. Guess who he had? Lamar and Hollywood, California Brown, and Johnny wins the week. Congratulations, Johnny. How do you feel? How's your coffee taste, bro?
My coffee was delicious this morning. I still wasn't sure if it was real, so I woke up, went to look at the scores again just to make sure. But, man, that was I've been doing this a really long time. I've never experienced anything like that in my life.
Amazing.
That was Michael Vick game, Monday Night Football game, years and years ago. I know you guys remember that game. I think it was close to the same amount of points, but it was a ridiculous amount of points. That's what it felt like. Only better.
Yeah, and the funny thing is we were texting back and forth, and I'm like, Johnny, every time Lamar throws a touchdown, I'm like, Johnny, you're gonna win the week. And Johnny's like, no, I don't think so. I'm like, dude, if it goes to overtime and he throws another touchdown to Hollywood, you're going to win the week. And that's exactly what freaking happened.
Yeah. What was funny is we were texting right before the game, and I was like, all I need is like 80 from Lamar and 30 from Hollywood. Being a smartass, knowing that would never happen. I was wrong.
So I bet you in a lot of the leagues that you guys playing out there, Lamar probably dropped about 40 to 50 points. But in our leagues, as you know, our quarterbacks score a little bit more. Lamar Jackson dropped a highway 101, the highest fantasy score in the history of our leagues.
Yeah.
I went back and looked. Dante Culpepper once had a 100-point game. We saw Tony Romo drop a 99-point game. But, of course, Johnny Ballgame doubles up with Lamar getting 101. And he gets 40 from Hollywood, and he just goes ballistic. So congrats to Johnny.
Thanks,
okay.
man.
How about some nicknames this week? Are you ready to go, Tony, with this?
Oh, since we're on that topic, which is Johnny Ballgame, you realize, I saw your bench points, right? If you would have played Piles Assen for Miami, you would have gotten because you played Boobie Anderson, right? Instead. So
yeah.
Right? I'm serious. So if you play Gaskin, you get another.
I would have had 12 more points. 12 more points.
Okay.
I played Cordell Patterson, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, he's a cutie.
Well, I played at my tight end. I played TJ. Come on, son.
You know who sucked? Who was supposed to go off? I thought NFL was talking about that Clamus and Chowder. That guy caught 2 passes in England. That was about it.
Hey, how about Lights Kamara action?
Yeah.
Hey, Chuck, my tight end I played was Noah Kant.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Oh.
That's actually brilliant. That's brilliant. I played Devin Singletary. It was awesome.
I had the same freaking nickname, bro. Every single carry. Nice.
Good.
How about Baking Bad Mayfield?
Oh,
Yeah.
He was pretty bad this time. He was good this week.
How about Psych Just Icky? That's really good, isn't it? Seki sucked.
He did
How about-
suck.
How about Carson Wentz off?
Oh,
Ah, he did go off.
Yeah.
How about Lamar the Merrier Jackson?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I like that one.
what about Mark? Don't call me Julie Andrews.
Nice.
All right.
Got weird on that one. Yep. got weird.
And I gotta say this one, you can bleep it out. I'm sure you can if somebody gets offended by this, but BJ Whore. You got me no points, dude. Kill me. Sorry, guys. That was.
How about Clyde Edwards MCL Air?
Oh.
That's good.
I have another one, but I'm not gonna go there. Never mind. I gotta stop.
How about George Brittle?
Oh, nice.
That was a
Good one.
That was
Another
nice.
really, really
And
smart.
timely.
How about Odell No Beckham?
Odell, no.
I got one more. Does anyone got any more?
No.
I'm clean out.
All right, here's the last one. Asta La Visca, baby. All right, enough of this.
Chuck wins this battle.
I win this. I win round 2. All right, cool. All right, now we're going on to the show. Let's get it going. You guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go.
I just got another one all of a sudden.
Break it out.
Oh, son, Knox.
Oh, son, Knox.
That's good.
All right, here we go.
News and notes around the NFL.
News and notes around the NFL. Let's start with the big topic on everyone's mind. John Gruden has resigned as head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders following reports that emails he wrote over a 10-year period included racist, misogynistic, and anti-gay language. So we're not going to go into too much detail, and we don't want to talk too much about this. We got to be careful. We don't want to get cancel culture or culture canceled, whatever you want to call it, on our show. So let's tread lightly. But I just want to get your opinion on this. I'm going to start with you, John. What do you think about all this? Is it fair? Tell me what you think.
I mean, it's probably fair. I having not seen the actual emails, it's a little hard to judge, but obviously it had to be pretty bad. Is it bad enough to go for the Buccaneers to pull him out of the Ring of Honor? And is it bad enough for all that? I don't know, because I've never seen them. I do find it a little hypocritical that they, for the Super Bowl halftime, are going to have Dre and Eminem and Kendrick and Mary J. And those guys are all great performers and some of my favorites. But you want to talk about racist, homophobic, misogynistic lyrics and words. I mean, are we against it or are we not? So
it's okay. It's okay when you sing it versus when you write it down.
Yeah. And somebody said to me, well, that was a long time ago. And I'm like, well, the first email was 10 years ago that they did from those guys, or from what's his face. So I think it's probably warranted. It doesn't have any place in the NFL. It really doesn't. It just sucks that it came out from a different investigation of the Redskins, and then they're like, oh, take these Gruden things and stop looking at that.
Tony, what's your take on this?
Yeah, I agree with Johnny. I want it to be a little bit more fair across the board. I do think he should be held accountable. Like you're saying, there's no place in the NFL for stuff like this. It's just it needs to be done. We need to stop this talk. But overall, we got to keep it fair. You know, there's a lot of people. I mean, what was it? The Texans owner. There's been so many things where they apologize and they let it go. So now Gruden apologizes and they're not letting it go. And I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve to be reprimanded, even fired, resigned, whatever. I agree with that. But there's other people that need to be held accountable too that they just let slide. And that's what pisses me off.
You know what? I want people to be careful. Go ahead, John.
I was gonna say, can you imagine if they opened up the emails for every team, every coach, general manager, assistant coach? Can you imagine the things that they would find in there?
And that was my point. I'm watching all these guys like Stephen A. Smith and all these guys on SportsCenter, and they're shaming the hell out of John Gruden. But be careful, guys. Just be careful, because we all say stupid things. We all send stupid emails. We all say things we regret. And if someone digs into your past far enough, they're going to find something, and you're going to be that guy apologizing and begging for your job. And
Canceled.
so you don't want to pile on to John Gruden. It's an unfortunate thing. Yeah, he deserves what he gets. But be careful, guys. Don't let them dig into your past. Be careful.
Right. And just to
Bryce,
piggyback real quick on what Poop said and you guys said, and there's thousands and thousands of emails, that are, going around. And this is just a tip of the iceberg, guys. We're just sticking our head down the friggin' rabbit hole. How about all those people that got those emails, responded back, and they've been okay with it for 10 years? I mean, that's not cool either. That's good. That's going against them. So this is just a tip, man. This is gonna open up a whole can of worms for more people than just Gruden. So just be ready for that.
Already there's backlash that they want to check all the emails for the Washington football team. They're going to dig into all their emails now, and we'll see what this uncovers. It's going to get crazy, guys.
Yeah.
It's gonna get naughty.
Yeah. Your shorts.
It's very unfortunate.
Can we just take a minute to look at Chuck's background? Are cocktails today? Is that what's happening right now?
Oh, cheers.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where's your shaker?
Yeah.
Non-alcoholic beer.
Non-alcoholic.
YouTube.
O'Doul's.
Right.
I'm looking at you, YouTube.
All right, next story. Juju Smith-Schuster is out for the season after undergoing shoulder surgery. What are the repercussions of this? I want to start with you, Tony.
Juju, it's unfortunate. It really is. I mean, for fantasy purposes, selfish reasons, it helps my teams quite a lot.
A lot of Claypool, do you?
Claypool and Johnson. Yeah, I personally feel that it is going to help Roethlisberger. I think that it's going to force him and force the team to start looking at the longer throws and a little bit more downfield and start utilizing those two stud wide receivers instead of constantly looking at Juju. That's just me. Again, it's kind of selfish behavior. I feel bad for Juju, I honestly do, but they have plenty of weapons. They're going to be fine, and I think they're going to be better. It's going to force them to break out of that shell.
That's a good point. His security blanket's gone now, so Big Ben's got to start looking down the field. You saw what happened in the game after Juju went out. Claypool blew up.
Yep.
So, yeah, we'll see.
You all held on to your Claypool. I hope you didn't get rid of Claypool.
That's right.
Nuts.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
He's a must start, guys. I think from here on out for sure.
Yeah, I'm starting him now.
Yeah.
All right, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is out a few weeks with an MCL sprain. He's actually been just put on the IR, so now he'll be out at least 3 weeks. I'm anticipating probably a little longer. So the Chiefs, that opens up some other people in the backfield, and I want to know, does it hurt their offense overall, which did struggle against Buffalo? I'll start with you, Royce.
No. Let's throw the ball. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see what Mahomes does, man. They're 2-3. Let's go. Come on. Let's do what you did to get to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. Be handing the ball off. No one wants to see that. Get it back there to block for you, and let's check it down the field. I want more 40-52 games. Let's go.
Tony, do we like Williams? Do we like McKinnon? Who do we like?
I like Williams. I think it's I like him. I think he's gonna do the same thing Hilaire's doing. And what Bryce saying is, I think that it's a similar situation to the Steelers now. Now they're going to be forced to throw to people like Pringle and Hardman also. Get those guys involved. They're fast. They can catch. I don't understand they don't know how to get open. I don't know what the problem is. I don't watch them enough, to be honest.
Josh Gordon time. Josh
Gordon. Now you got Josh Gordon. So and now they're a little bit panicked. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited.
I'm curious too to see how the Chiefs respond. I think all the Chiefs are like a buy low candidate right now. Like, you can't get Mahomes and Kelsey and stuff, but I think the Chiefs are about to explode as a team and start to roll off 4 or 5 wins in a row here. I think that's what is about to happen. Well, we'll see. Another injury that we need to talk about. Russell Wilson is out at least 6 weeks. They're saying 6 to 8 weeks after surgery to repair a torn ligament on his middle finger of his throwing hand. So I want to know, what does this do to the value of Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf? Royce, what do you say?
Lockett, Metcalf. I mean, after he got hurt, Russell went down. Metcalf was his guy. And I heard I've had 4 to 8 weeks too. So he may be back, which means could be 3 weeks. He could be back. So Gino's just got to right the ship, play 500 football till Russ gets back. And I think they have a chance to make the wild card.
I thought Gino looked fantastic. It was surprising how good he looked. And you're right, Metcalf was his guy. And early and often, I think Lockett's value does go down a little bit. I think Carson goes up, the running back. I think his value actually goes up a little bit because I think they'll try to be more balanced with Gino back there. So I would want I'd want a share of him if I could get him. And I think you could buy low on him right now.
Yeah.
Gino's a disaster. He came in and had a good game. I'm not going to lie. But the other team didn't prepare for Gino. Gino came in like all of a sudden. He didn't know he was going to be playing. And he had a good game. Whoop-de-doo. But now the teams have a chance to game plan against Gino. Let's see the real Gino. Please stand up. I think it's going to be a disaster. I think it hurts everyone. I do think he likes Metcalf, so I don't think Metcalf's going to take too much of a hit. But all the other guys around him are going to take a major hit. And I think they're going to lose a lot of these games coming up. And I think they're going to be out of the race by the time that Wilson's ready to come back. And why bring him back at all? I mean, I'm sure they will. But for fantasy purposes, this guy might be out 6 more weeks. Are we holding on to Wilson that long? I don't know. We'll find out. All right.
Got an IR spot, Ken.
Yeah, we'll get to that. All right. Now let's talk about the fun shit. Lamar Jackson, 442 yards passing and 4 touchdowns. Tom Brady, 411 yards and 5 touchdowns. Carson Wentz, 402 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Justin Herbert, 398 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. John, what the hell is going on?
I feel like defenses forgot how to play. Like, name me one amazing defense right now. Dallas is one of the best defenses there is right now. And
Buffalo.
Dallas last year. Buffalo's got a good defense. I'll give them that. But everybody else is just like, oh, we're supposed to play defense? It's insanity what's going on out there.
Scary.
I mean, we're talking receivers running wide open, by the way.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks are threading the needle to get these passes in here. You saw it last night. I mean, just wide open receivers. Mike Williams 2 days ago. How long is that guy open by himself?
Going waiting on the ball.
Yeah.
Nobody can get to him.
Insanity.
We saw Debo the week before on a 70-yard touchdown. Nobody there. Like, what is going on? I mean,
Cooper Kupp. How many open touchdowns has Cooper Kupp had this year?
Yeah, Cooper Kupp was open quite a bit the first few weeks. It's crazy, but it's fun. But this has got to be the highest scoring fantasy week I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I scored over 200 points, and I lost ground in the standings this week thanks to Johnny Ballgame. He overtook me. And
yeah, but you're right there, dude. Tony, I mean, I hate to say that. I hate to out Tony, but he had the worst week in our league, and it was 140 points. It wasn't
that bad.
All right, and it was the worst. There was people in the 190s, the 180s, the 200s. In our league, again, we have more bonuses and certain points, but it was
that's a lot.
A week, yeah.
I had Lamar. Excuse me, I had Lamar scored almost 190 points in 1 week in one league, and still lost by like 75 points to Chuck. Almost 190 points, and I lost by that much. That's ridiculous.
Chuck, tell me about that one. Like, who did you have that just completely went off for you? Because that was insanity too.
Justin Herbert. I had Devontae Adams. I had Zeke. I had Hubbard. I had, I don't even remember. Antonio Brown. I mean, everyone I played scored 2 touchdowns at least. It was ridiculous.
That was an insane week.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
You scored more points in that league than I did in our big money.
I did. And that league scores less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So way more impressive win.
Crazy.
All right.
I got to interject one more time. So just so everybody knows, I won one league, by 0.10 points. So a tenth of a point, and I lost another one by a third of a point, right? So 0.30. It's been that I've never had that happen. Not that close. It's just one of those weeks. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's crazy. That's interesting too. That you eked one out and you lost barely by 1/3 of a point. That's crazy. All right. Last bit of news that just came out right before I was coming on the air here. Dallas Goedert is doubtful for the Eagles game on Thursday night against the Bucs. He was put on the COVID-19 list. Also, Tom Brady is dealing with a thumb injury. He says he's going to be okay. So I just want to throw that out there. We don't have to talk too much about it. But if Dallas Goedert is out, which it looks like he's going to be, does that mean Zach Ertz is a viable play as a top 10 tight end?
Sure as hell is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Absolutely, he does.
So if Zach Ertz is on the waiver wire, guys, go pick him up and put him in the line.
Absolutely. Get him in there, yeah.
Yeah.
Zach Love Hurts.
Actually, just looked to see if he was available in our league, and he's not.
Look at Johnny trying to go out and sneak Zach Ertz while we're on the air.
No, I was just going to look to see if he was.
Sure.
Even in our league, he's available, but he's not. So.
Sneaky bastard. All right.
Fantasy Heroes and Zeros.
Okay. Fantasy Heroes. Lots of those this week. And Fantasy Zeros. Not a lot of those this week. But here we go. We're going to start with the Fantasy Heroes. And I'm going to start with you, John, because we all know who you're going to pick. And he was definitely the fantasy hero of everybody's teams. Go ahead and lay it on me. Who is it?
Lamar Jackson. I'm going to tell you how good his performance was. The owner of Colts, that guy, Jim Irsay, sent out a tweet today and said he was fortunate enough to see the Gale Sayers 6-touchdown game when he was a kid. And he said watching Lamar was better than watching that game.
Wow.
And that's the guy whose team just lost to him. That's how incredible that performance was last night. Going into halftime, he had 21 points in our league, which would have been like 10 points in another league. He just went ballistic. And what to me was the more amazing thing, in fourth quarter and overtime, he was 18 of 20. He missed 2 passes complete, all total in that fourth quarter and overtime. It was an unbelievable performance, and it was with his arm. It wasn't with his leg. He still got 60 yards rushing.
Encouraging, yeah.
But the fact that he stood in there, made great decisions, made great passes. His efficiency is one of the reasons he got me so many points. He just didn't miss. Like his incompletions were rare. So if he hadn't had that football, he would have had literally 0 mistakes.
Yeah, and I want to throw it out there as well that Marquise Hollywood had 0 points at the half and ended up at 40.
Sure did have 0. I know that because I was like, what the hell's Marquise doing?
And ball game. He's eighth right now in rushing a quarterback. Rushing 8th.
Yeah. And he only had yards
Crazy.
this week.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yep. All right, Tony, you have a hero at running back. Who is it?
Derrick Henry again. Didn't I choose him earlier this season?
Yeah.
Use him every freaking week.
He just pounds the ball, man. And I love how, like, every week I get to be at halftime, like, well, he looks okay, but he's got, like, 15 carries at the half. Like, what's going to happen here? And he always ends up with, like, 25 carries and just ground and pound and results. Pulls off those 2 touchdowns or whatever the guy does, but he's absolute magic. Love
I heard somebody call him the King of Duval because he owns the Jacksonville Jaguars in Duval County.
That's awesome.
All right, Royce, you have a hero at wide receiver. Who you like?
Mike Williams again, guys. This is the second time in 3 weeks. He had 16 targets. I mean, this is Herbert's guy, man. 165 yards and 2 touchdowns. Let's see. He's the lowest output he's had is 82 yards catching in a game. That's his lowest.
No, he had 11 yards last week.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, 4 out of 5.
Throw that out.
Yeah.
Throw that
that one doesn't count. I apologize. 4 out of 5 games. He's got at least 82 yards. And
yeah,
I mean, he's seeing a volume. Keenan Allen, if you have him, I'm sorry. But Mike Williams is a stud, man.
The coordinator from the Saints, Joe Lombardi, comes over there. He made him the Mike the Mike Thomas role, the ex-receiver. He is the guy that Herbert's going to throw the most targets to.
Right, and he was a top wide receiver this week, number one. If we're doing the draft again, I think he's a second rounder, guys. What do you think? Probably, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right now, yeah. So
Though Johnny called the injury to Keenan Allen, this is the same thing.
Week 6.
It's the same thing, dude. Whether it's an injury or not, he's obsolete right now.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the feeling you were having, dude. He's just going to be a non-factor.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's possible.
Well,
By the way,
go ahead.
I did also say Fields would be named permanent starter in Week 5.
Nailed it.
Wow. Well,
Ladies and gentlemen,
you got the
Johnny
line
Ballgame.
week.
That's going. I wish I could pick games.
Yeah, me too.
All right. My hero, I'm going to stick with the same team, obviously, because I have him in my Dynasty League and in the Sleeper League, and he went ballistic. That's Justin Herbert, 26 of 43 for 398, 4 touchdowns throwing and 1 rushing. And he completely took over that game against Cleveland, and he's the reason why they won. And right now, Justin Herbert is in the MVP conversation for the NFL.
It's fair.
At him and Lamar and maybe one other guy, maybe Holmes. I don't know. But he's definitely in the conversation.
Josh Allen, too.
I think you put Josh Allen in there,
Josh Allen. But
which was that call I got really wrong.
Right now, Herbert is on pace for that bold prediction I made where I said he would get 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. He's on pace for that easily. Wow. So, looking good so far. Keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got another hero, Johnny boy, and it's a wide receiver. But it's
a wide receiver. Yeah, it's not Hollywood this time. It's a guy because it's a bit of a surprise. I wasn't even sure if he was going to play. Rolled his ankle last week in practice, and was questionable right up to it. They announced he was going to go. I plugged him in thinking, what the hell? Plus, I had a couple of other injuries at receiver, so I didn't really have a choice. Calvin Ridley, I'm looking at you. And he went off. He just absolutely went off, dominated that game. And another guy who didn't really have much going into halftime. I think he only had like 3 points, like a reception for 20 yards or something like that, and came out of it in the 30s in our league. Just dominated that game. Just absolutely.
Did you say Cortland Sutton?
Yeah.
Did you mention his name? I didn't hear you.
Oh, did I not say his name? Oh, Cortland Sutton.
I was waiting on that. I'm like, okay, who are we getting at here?
Cortland Sutton. Sorry.
I mean, I knew who you were. I knew who you were
right.
talking about. Yeah, but the audience needs to know Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, Cortland Sutton is who I was talking about as my hero this week.
All right, Tony, you also have a wide receiver, and I love this guy too. Tell me who it is.
PP Sheet, baby. The Lampster.
Yeah.
I keep calling that guy PP now. Yeah, I mean, his numbers weren't like, astronomical. But, again, I always go with the encouragement because I'm feeling a little bit down, and he looked good. I'm stoked.
Caught that long ball, man. Became the Cookie Monster again.
Yes, he did.
More of that, please. More of that. All right. So, yeah, PP Lamb comes through. Nice. All right. Now we need a tight end. Rice, who's your hero?
Mark Andrews, pretty easy. Top tight end of the week.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Finally, he got paid and he made his money this week. I mean, the Ravens are going to be fine from the here on out, guys, if you have Andrews and you have Hollywood Brown. Because the running backs are terrible. Lamar's got to throw it to someone. Andrews was open in the flat. He was open in the side. He finally got some red zone looks. He was 11 for 13, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 2-point conversions. He got paid last week.
Did he outscore Dawson Knox?
He was number 1 tight end this week.
So he outscored Dawson. Dawson Knox also had a tremendous game.
Yeah,
sure did.
Yeah.
I like Mark Andrews, though, if you had him.
The two 2-point conversions really probably helped. That's like almost an extra touchdown right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last hero is a running back. Going back to that well because this guy's really starting to grow on me, man. James Robinson. Another monster game, 18 carries for 149 and a touch. This guy is the lead guy in that backfield now. It's not even a question. Carlos Hyde does get a few carries, but James Robinson is the man. And they got a nice schedule coming up. I think he's going to continue to do this. What do you guys think?
It's a good call.
Yes. Chuck, I have him as well. They're in London again. Well, not again. There's another game in London. They're playing Miami, and Tampa Bay just dropped 45 on Miami. So give the rock to JR, and let's go.
And, Is that true that Urban Meyer had a hand in trying to pick up ATM?
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Like, I mean, Robinson is badass, dude.
So
Why are you
good,
even
man.
looking at,
I mean, know.
A running back? God.
I thought you meant did he go to the ATM so he could get money for a stripper? That's my bad.
Wow, that wasn't even a stripper. It was just a little lap dance, John.
I
Take it easy.
know.
All right, we did the heroes. Now we got to do the freaking zeros. And we'll start with John, wide receiver. Who you got?
Robbie freaking Anderson. Where'd you go, bro? You're playing with a quarterback who you used to actually score a lot with. He comes over. Everybody thinks this is going to be Robbie. Robbie was fantastic last year. Where the hell is he? He's droppable. He's not rosterable anymore.
That's crazy. That is nuts. Wow. All right. Good one. All right. So let's go for a running back. Tony, you got one?
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, I'm going with Mixon. I understand he's banged up, but and he actually, the couple runs that he had, he didn't look too bad. So it's not really fair for me to come down on him as a zero. What I hate is, I fail myself every time because, like, you don't want to bench Mixon, but if he's banged up, why am I starting him?
Yep.
But it's like I worry more about kicking myself in the ass if he happens to go off, though there's an 80% chance he's not going to do much because his ankle was messed up. So
yeah, one of those things you have to play him. You have to play him.
You have to. It's like I hate that hammer crap. Got to play your hammers.
And he was limited, and I mean he's coming off an injury, and he doesn't catch any balls.
Other than that, he was the perfect play this week.
Bro, say it ain't so. Gosh. All right, Royce, you got a receiver. We all know that we like this guy, but man, this is a repeat offender. Who is it?
This is for Poop too. Poop, I'm gonna talk you off the ledge here, buddy. AJ Brown, and I'll tell you why we're gonna be optimistic here. Okay, he was 3 for 6 for 38 yards. Terrible, right? The injury didn't seem to bother him. I didn't think. The problem is they have him on a pitch count. I read today he only played 65% of the snaps. He's only in there for 40% of the offensive plays, and they didn't need him last week. I mean, I was probably stupid to play him. It was a Derrick Henry show. I mean, after they were up, why throw the ball? I mean, Tannehill didn't do anything, just hand the ball off. Next week though, the Bills, AJ Brown, will get some points.
Some like 2.
Wow, that's a
encouraging
there, didn't you?
I'm panicking. I'm not gonna lie.
Don't panic. Next week, I'm telling you, big game from AJ next week. At least
Let
80
AJ
yards
get
and a
healthy.
score.
He's gonna get healthy. Don't panic.
He's fine. I like the pitch count.
I'm not gonna get rid of the guy, but it's just like, do I play him? It's just
play him next week.
It's getting late.
Yeah. I also have a wide receiver. Do you guys know what hold on for dear life means in the trading world and stocks and crypto? They call it HODL. I call him Jalen HODL. Hold on for dear life, because this dude is a freaking roller coaster. He gets like 15 targets one week. He only catches 2 balls for 31 this week. I'm waiting for Tua to get back, but right now he's my zero. He is just coming up small.
Well, help's on the way. Tua got activated today. So
Tua got activated?
Yeah.
Nice. Good news. Good news.
I have Waddle too, Chuck. I'm with you. I'm just like, throwing the ball. Who else is there?
I call him swaddle because they're just treating him like a little baby sometimes. Just swaddle.
The worst part about it was Devontae Parker was out.
Yeah.
We thought, oh my gosh, Waddle's
right.
But nope.
Yeah, instead Gaskin goes off and he's on my bench. Thanks, Gaskin.
Gasoline.
Got all the catches.
Gas can.
Gasoline.
Tony, let's stick with the wide receivers because you got another one, and this is a big name.
It's another one that's killing me, and that's Terry McLaurin. I mean, I know there's surprisingly a few wide receivers in Washington that look good. They can handle the ball, but this is another, top pick for me. And I don't really understand what's going on with the QB. I love that kid. He's got some heart, man. Like he does not give up, and I like the looks of him, but he's not really coming through. So I'm a little panicked on him. And
stay the course.
Yeah.
Stay the course.
Fitzpatrick's coming back too, right?
Fitzy's coming back. He's coming back probably next week. So
Yeah.
Okay.
And Poop, Washington's got Chiefs this week. It's gonna be a shootout, man. Keep them in there. It's gonna be fun.
yeah.
Nice.
All
And
right.
say his name with a Scottish accent when you say it. Oh, Terry McLaren.
Oh, fucking McLaurin.
Ah, what's fucking McLaren?
All right, we need a tight end. You have a
I got
zero
one.
tight end. Yes, you do, John. I'm coming right up to you. Here it is. What you got?
I chased points. Let me just say that first of all. I chased points, and I always preached not to chase points, but the tight end position sucks so badly this year. If you didn't get one of the three big ones, you don't have one, and you're constantly chasing points. I chased Uzama, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah.
Uzama, not on my team anymore, is what he is.
Uzuma.
It's terrible. I think he caught like 2 passes.
Yeah.
It was awful.
And it makes it worse when you had Dawson Knox and you dropped him to get Uzuma.
I need to tell you the story about Dawson Knox.
Ooh.
Complete
let's hear
accident
it.
drop. It was an accident drop. I thought I was dropping Logan Thomas. They're right beside each other. And as soon as I hit, because to me, they're kind of interchangeable a little bit, but I thought I was dropping Logan Thomas because I had Dawson Knox. I was so excited about that pickup. And then I dropped him. And then in our league, it's locked for 24 hours. And that son of a bitch, you know who, jumped on him. It's driving me crazy. And man, yeah, it was the biggest mistake I made this year so far.
I'm going to stick with tight end because I got another zero at tight end. This guy is killing me the last few weeks. That is TJ in Sun. 2 catches for 22 yards. Are you freaking kidding me? Bad. And I really thought this guy was going to be a top 3 tight end this year.
It too, dude.
First 2 weeks, he looked exactly like that.
Looked great. He had 8 catches in both games. He had a couple touchdowns. He was looking great.
Yep.
Man, what happened to that guy? It's Jared Goff. I should have known better. It's got
I
to
hear you.
Yeah.
Cephas is out. Goff kind of likes that Cephas kid. So maybe I got Hawkinson in the league too, and I really need forms.
I went and picked back up Amon St. Brown. He's had 7 targets in both of the last 2 games.
Isn't Cephas a spell though? Like, isn't that like some kind of warlord spell? Cephas.
I don't know.
Man, the Lions.
Sounds like a disease I needed to get penicillin to clear up. Cephas.
It's
For
Detroit.
sure.
It can't be good.
All right, Royce. Who's your zero?
Another tight end, Noah Fant. I'm not, you know
I
what?
warned you.
I
I
know.
warned you.
I know. Well, you know what? Sutton went off. It's just always one player in the Denver game. Always goes off. Just one. That's it. You just got to hope you got the right guy. He was 3 for 4 for 20 yards. But good news, they have the Raiders this weekend with their craziness going on. The defense has given up 3 touchdowns to the tight ends in the first 5 games. So I'm hoping he gets one in the end zone. So.
Nice.
Also, a couple pieces of good news. Noah Fant is still a tight end 1. He is tight end 12. It's not the disaster that let's not make it out to be too bad. Secondly,
It's bad.
it's Noah Fanta Claus. He comes through near December. Just wait. Just wait. He brings gifts to all the children, all the fantasy people.
Oh, that's
But-
nice.
But
That's
Daddy,
Weather tight end.
yeah. But
See,
Daddy,
I think it's more like bad Fanta.
Daddy, I want the Oompa Loompa now. I don't want one in December. I want one now.
I want it now.
Ow.
All right.
Nice.
Okay.
Shop till you drop.
All right, guys. New segment. Shop till you drop. No, we're not having the wives go out, going shopping and running up our credit cards. What I want to know is, these are going to be some guys that have fully disappointed us this year. And now it's time to think about it and say, are we going to hold on to these guys and try to shop them? Or is it time to just freaking drop them? Put them on the waiver wire. So I'm going to, and this is for a typical 10 to 12 team league, 15 to 16 man roster. So nothing crazy. All right. In this situation, would you drop the following? Here we go. Ben Roethlisberger. Right now, he's quarterback 26. Should he be on a roster, John, or should he not?
12-team league, 2 quarterbacks, 24. I might stash him as just like my backup for an emergency. If I have an unbelievable every week starter quarterback and I needed a bye week, I might throw him in there, but I see no value in him really, quite frankly.
Tony, would you drop him or shop him?
Shop him. I mean, I would shop him. I mean, well, let's see. If you're talking 12 teams, there are a couple guys on our waivers that are decent. And after what he pulled off with Claypool, you might be able to get something for him. I mean, yeah, I would shop him. Why not? Give it a shot.
Is there a third of keep him?
Yeah, you can just wait and see. And hope
As a backup, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'd hold him.
Yeah. I'd hold him too, guys. I mean, with the injury with Juju, let's see what he can do with Claypool now and Johnson. And
Chuck won't hold him because he broke up with him.
I dumped that son of a bitch. Put him on the waiver wire. It's over. All right.
No holding.
All right. Now we got another quarterback. Quarterback 22, Baker Mayfield. Are we keeping him? Are we shopping him? Or are we dropping him?
Well, can I go on this one? Because this is part of a segment we're doing here in a little bit, so I might as well just tell you. I'd keep him. Keep.
Me too.
And I'll tell you a little bit more why here in just a few minutes.
Okay. So I say drop his ass, but whatever. Easy to say when you have Josh Allen, right?
Oh, well, of course. Depends on the situation.
Right.
Or just
I'll put you this way. I picked him up today off waivers.
Nice. All right, another quarterback. We brought this up earlier. Quarterback 11, Russell Wilson, but he's most likely going to miss 8 weeks. I know people think 4 to 8. It's going to be 8. And if you don't have an IR slot, do you drop him?
I think you could shop him and still get somebody for him. Because somebody's going to go, I need a quarterback down the stretch. So if you've got another good quarterback, I might consider shopping him, even if you have to take somebody who's not as great as him. But I try to get something before I drop him.
Okay. Anybody else?
How long is he out?
It says 4 to 8 weeks. I'm gonna guess it's more like 8 weeks. He had to repair a tendon on his finger, and it's on his throwing hand. This is not something he's coming back in 4 weeks, guys.
I think he is. I think he's coming back in 4.
I think he's coming back in 4 weeks too.
Chuck, I think in 3 it could be back. Seriously.
It's a 17-week season. We're only in week 5.
Right. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 8 weeks. That's week 13. Most leagues are
That's worst case scenario.
That's best case scenario in my opinion. I don't think he's coming back in 4 weeks. Plus they have a bye. I just drop him. Just cut bait. Move on.
I think Johnny is the one. You might be able to shop that dude. There might be somebody who'll jump on, even a fan. You know, a few guys who just love cooking that guy, kind of like that Royce dude.
Yeah.
You might be able to trade him. Get something good for him.
I'm keeping him.
Let Royce cook.
Other than that, put him on the IR. Put him on your bench.
IR,
That's going to be our new name for Royce's.
Let Royce cook.
Instead of roll with Royce, let Royce cook.
Or cook what?
All right.
Well,
We're wondering that too with some of your picks.
Exactly. Oh, just wait.
Let's do some running backs. Let's start with Trey Sermon in San Francisco. What are we doing with him? Shopping him, keeping him, or dropping him?
I drop him.
I don't think he's rosterable right now.
I don't think he is either. I mean, there's nothing there.
Elijah Mitchell's coming back. If he hasn't come back already.
And I hate the running back. I hate the running back situation in San Francisco every freaking year.
I do too.
It's stupid.
It's frustrating.
Get rid of him.
That's the reason. That's it right there. Team. Yeah, like they like the RBBC. And other than one game where Elijah Mitchell went off, basically it's been RBBC every game. No one's gone off. And Trey Sermon's lost. He seems like a dummy to me. I don't think Kyle Shanahan likes him. Dump him.
That's super good.
Yeah, dump him.
He's
all right.
Ayuk. Ayuk just probably share the rent.
We'll get to him in a minute. Another running back came out in the first game after all the injuries in Baltimore, and Tyson Williams looked good. He had a long touchdown, did some things, but like Keith said earlier a couple shows back. He doesn't pass protect very well, and he's getting less and less playing time, and you're seeing the results. Do you just cut bait now?
I would. I don't think it's necessary to keep him. I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's going to get enough either. So I don't think it's risky is my point. It's like, why waste the space?
None of the running backs are good on that team, right? You actually saw, what's his face used to be on Devontae Freeman. Is that his name? Devontae Freeman came in and caught a bunch of passes towards the end. I will say Tyson catch a couple of key passes towards the end of that game and was in, but I mean, he scored, 5 points total? It's not worth it right now. I'm with these guys.
Right, Royce? Take it out.
You got Lamar Jackson. That's your only running back you need on that team.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I have a feeling I know what you guys are going to say on this next guy, and I have a feeling I'm going to be on the opposite end. Running back 66, Ronald Jones in Tampa. What are you guys doing?
Well, you're not getting anything for him. That's for sure.
Nope.
So shopping him.
Chuck, you're keeping him. Huh? I know you are.
Chuck's going to keep him because he doesn't trust Fournette.
All right, injury.
Giovanni is going to get more involved in the passing game. He's become the James White of Tampa. I just don't know why you need Rojo. I'd drop him.
You don't need Rojo, but when Leonard 3-nut loses a nut and gets hurt, then it's Rojo time, okay? Because Gio Bernard ain't the man there. He's the third down back at best.
Yeah.
And that offensive line is doing a good job opening up holes. Ronald Jones is going to get another chance here. Bank on it, okay? I wouldn't drop him. I'd just hold him. Can't trade him, but I'd hold him.
But to me, though, it's a lot like the San Francisco deal. They love the RBs, the running back.
Not really.
There.
Not as much. Fournette. Not as much. No, Fournette's getting the bulk of the carries.
All right.
And they don't have 6 running backs like the frickin' 49ers do.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I would say this. If Rojo was on another team, I actually think Rojo would be a starter, and I think he'd be doing great. I don't think they use him.
I agree with you. I think he's awesome.
Quick one.
Opportunity.
Quick one. Running back Marlon Mack. What do we do?
Return of the Mack. Drop.
I keep him. And just for injury reasons.
Tony?
If Taylor goes down.
Yeah, I mean, I like him. Yeah, but again, it's taking up a spot. I mean,
he had 1 rush yesterday.
And that rush looks good.
Here's why I'm keeping him. Here's why I'm keeping him. He's going to get traded. He's going to get traded, and he could end up on the Chiefs. You heard it here first.
They gave him permission to seek a trade 3 weeks ago, and nobody wanted him.
The trade deadline is not for a few more weeks. People are seeing what they can get, what they have to give up. It's a negotiation.
I might hold on to him if I have the roster space.
There's about 5 teams. If he ends up on those teams, he would immediately be the lead back. And the best case scenario would be the Chiefs, in my opinion. But there's other teams, the Texans, there's other teams that need his services. Just hold.
Texans, they've got David Johnson.
How about Devin Singletary from Buffalo?
Yeah.
Drop him. And I'll tell you why. Moss has emerged. Moss is the better running back.
Moss had a nice game.
Yeah, he's being used in the passing game, and Buffalo, all they do is pass. I don't see much use for Singletary, and unless Moss gets hurt, he's kind of useless. You might want to hold him just in case Moss gets hurt. Otherwise, drop his ass.
Yeah, I love whack toss. Zach Moss.
All right, let's go to the wide receivers. Brandon Ayuk. Are we finally dropping his ass?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Peace.
Does that kill all 4 of us, though? It's painful. That's the most
painful.
We all love that guy.
We hyped him up.
Since
how many of us have shares of Ayuk right now? Raise your hand if you've got a share of Ayuk. I've got 3 of them.
I got 2.
I got 2.
Soon to be.
Drop his ass. All right. How about LaVisca Chenault? He's wide receiver 55. He's kind of disappeared. Lawrence had a good game, and yet LaVisca didn't. I mean, what do we think here? Hold or drop him?
I'm holding.
I'm dropping.
I'd hold him too.
I'm dropping. I don't think it's necessary.
Here's what I think. I think Lawrence is just starting to figure out how to play quarterback in the NFL, and he's starting to look a little bit better every week. I'd hold Laviscus. Don't give up on Laviscus yet. They don't have that much else there.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't.
I like him.
Don't give up. Don't give up.
I don't know. Wide receivers seem to be the easiest thing to find on the waiver wire, so it wouldn't hurt as much if you dropped him and he started to, do his thing. There are other guys out there you could get. I think I'd drop him.
You could drop him and pick up Ayuk.
All right.
Sadly, he's got about the same amount of points.
I know.
This one's for Tony.
Yes, sir.
Odell Beckham Jr. Wide receiver, 88. He's had 2 opportunities in a row to be the main guy because his boy Jarvis is out. Coming up fucking small. Do we drop him?
I personally am giving him 2 more weeks. That's because I'm being stubborn. I think it's another one of those guys that, he's going to have a couple more decent games. I don't freaking know what's going on over there. I really don't get it, man. I'm keeping him, but I'm not encouraging others to. I don't think it's necessary to hold on to him. I really don't. They're gonna Chubb hunt it the entire time, and then Baker's gonna do what he needs to do. And I think he's going right to the tight end now. I think that's
what they're gonna Chubb hunt.
Chubb hunt.
That's a
I didn't even mean it to sound like that.
That is gross.
That is gross.
That is a different show.
Yeah, that's our next podcast.
Hunt Chubb.
Fantasy Island. Can I say this though?
Yeah,
what I would do, I think would be smart, is I would name shop him. Right, so people still sometimes in your league they might still go, "Oh, Odell Beckham Jr. That's a name," and you might be able to get some young talent that's sitting on somebody's bench that is about ready to go off. Maybe it's a Marquez Callaway. You get him back because he's kind of starting to come back around. I would trade him.
Tony, without saying his name, I can think of one guy that would probably fall for the name of Odell Beckham, and he has
100%.
Two girls on his team with 1 cup.
Yeah, sure does. We should skip him.
Yeah.
All right. Wide receiver 68 on the Panthers, Robbie Anderson.
Gone.
I mean,
Ballgame for anyone else to answer.
Ballgame said it best, man. He hasn't shown up.
Useless.
DJ.
Here's what I'd do. Drop him. Wait 5 weeks till the end of the year when he makes his usual 6-week wonder run at the end of the year. Pick him back up.
All right.
That's all you can do.
Sure.
All right. This one's tough, but it's time to ask. Do we drop wide receiver 65, Allen Robinson, your 3rd or 4th round pick? Probably your 3rd round pick. Do you drop him? 4th round pick?
I hold him for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'm not quite ready.
I'm not ready.
Yeah,
And maybe that's me being stubborn on this one just because I'm a Bears fan. But I just feel like Fields just starting to crack the code a little bit. I'd hold.
Bryce?
Yeah, I would too. I want to see what Fields done, but Ballgame, they haven't hit the 200-yard mark for a while here.
Oh,
passing.
I know. I know.
You know.
Oh, so, I know. But tell you what, we've also won the last 2 games.
That's true. You have.
All right.
Your defense is playing well.
I think I'd hold him because he's just that talented. And if, like you said, if he figures it out at quarterback, Allen Robinson could be a league winner down the stretch. So
yeah.
I'm not ready to drop him yet. All right. Tight ends. Robert Tonyan, tight end 31. I'd drop him.
I would drop him too.
Agree.
Now that Cobb's there, he seems to be the guy over the middle that's catching the intermediate passes. Yeah. I think Tonyan's just he's a one-hit wonder. Last year was it. He's just nothing.
Maybe we'll call him Robert Nunyon.
Yep.
Noah Fanta Claus, tight end 12. Like I told you, he's still a tight end 1. Do we drop him? Hell no. Hell no.
I feel like he shouldn't even be on this list.
He shouldn't be on this list, but I'm in 2 leagues that he was dropped in. That's why I put him on the list.
He's irritating. Wow. I will say that. He is irritating, right?
He is. Yes. It's frustrating. I mean, you look at that guy every week going, he's going to go off, right?
Yeah.
And then it's 3 catches for 20 yards. You're like,
it's the quarterback play. It's the quarterback. But Teddy Bridgewater if he's healthy, I like his situation better than the backup. The backup is crap. I mean, let's face it. If that guy, if Drew Lock's in the game, yeah, you might want to drop Noah Fant.
Yeah, don't play him.
Yeah.
All right. How about Logan Superhero Thomas? And the reason why I ask is because Johnny, you dropped him.
I did.
So you don't want to wait 3 weeks and get him back?
I feel like I could get him back in a couple of weeks. I don't think anybody's going to pick him up. So this was more of a strategic. I needed to find me a tight end.
I'm picking him up.
Weeks.
Right now, Tony.
But here's the thing. He wasn't doing that great anyway, right? Like, it wasn't like everybody went, oh, Logan's now my whole week's blown when he went out. Because, I mean, he blew that week because he got 0 points. But he wasn't really doing much. I think he was like not even in the top 12.
What if I told you Fitzpatrick was coming back?
Yeah.
Fitzy, I don't know. I mean, is he going to do his long passes like he normally does, or is he going to?
What if I heard Heineke's going to be the quarterback throughout the year? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know.
I heard that.
If I had space for him, I would have held. But I needed tight end help. I feel like I can pick him up later, unless Tony screws me.
When's he due back? He's still hurt, right?
3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, but you know what? That was a hip injury isn't that the same one that took Tua out for like a season?
No, I was talking about Logan Thomas. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh.
3 or 4 weeks. Fitzpatrick, I've heard that even when he does come back, that Heineke's going to be the guy.
I did hear that too.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to stand.
Because that's not what I heard. I heard that Rivera said that when Fitz comes back, it's his job.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I could see it going either way. Sticking with the damn Washington football team, we have one defense on this list. It's theirs. They are defense number 30 in fantasy football. Unbelievable. And you know, not that you have to get defenses high in the draft, but those are one of the first defenses off the board. So you're getting them, the final 3, 4, 5 rounds of your draft. Do you drop them now?
I did today. In one of my leagues, I dropped him. I just can't. I can't hang on to them anymore. They're literally weighing me down in the defensive section. They're a liability at this point.
Yeah, you know what? They're like the Chiefs. They're in shootouts every week. Their defenses are getting hammered. Just get rid of them. Stream defenses if you have to. Just get rid of them. They're not worth the headache.
I just can't believe it. What happened?
I don't know.
What the hell is wrong with them?
Honestly, I don't know. They're young. They're talented. Maybe it's the defensive coordinator play calling.
You have to look at him, right? I mean, it's the same group, pretty much the same group as last year. That did phenomenal. They've got the best defensive line on paper in the league. They've got good cornerbacks, great linebackers, and they can't stop anyone. Nobody. All right, before they fire the defensive coordinator, would you pick him back up?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
That could spark them a little bit. Yeah.
Take your chances for a week or two, see what happens.
Yeah. All right. Before we go on to week 6, I have a little bit of notes here about the all poop team that we did. We're not going to have that segment today. We're going to take a break from that. But I do wanted to go over how we did last week, and I thought we did pretty freaking good. So, quarterback, I had Daniel Jones, and he went 5 for 13, 98 yards, and he left due to injury. Tony, you had Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 7 carries, 13 yards, 1 catch for 11, and he left due to injury. Saquon Barkley was John's pick at running back. He had 2 carries for 9 yards, and he left due to injury. Are you seeing a theme here? John, you had Noah Fant at tight end, 3 catches for 20 yards. Nice call. I had Tyreek Hill at wide receiver, 7 catches, 63 yards. I called it. I said he wouldn't get more than, what did I say, 75 yards? I nailed it. Now, we had a couple fuck-ups, I would say. I took Austin Eckler. He went off, 66 yards on the ground, two touchdowns, 5 more catches for 53 and a touch. So I blew that one completely. I just keep underestimating Austin Eckler. Tony, you had Deontay Johnson. It was a good call. He had 2 catches for 72 yards. Unfortunately, it was a touchdown on the long catch. But I thought it was still a good call. And John, you took Mike Evans. He went off. 6 catches, 113 for two touchdowns. But Overall,
that surprised me.
3 guys that got injured and left the game early. I mean, we couldn't do any better than that. Good calls.
No.
And
We
now
were all 2 out of 3, right? 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3 great picks.
Yeah.
Good job. All right. No more week 5.
Week 6 matchups.
On to week 6. Let's take a peek at some matchups to start. And there's 5 games again that I like this week coming up in week 6. We'll start with the Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field. 4.5, Green Bay's favored by. And the over-under is 45. So not a high-scoring game. Bears' defense has been playing a lot better. Green Bay's defense has been playing a lot better. What do we expect in this game? What are we looking for, Johnny?
First of all, take the under. I feel like they're going to try to get Aaron Jones on the Packers side moving, him and A.J. Dillon. So I think they'll try to run a little bit on this Bears team because it can be run on. On the Bears side, man, they're going to try to run, but the Packers are pretty good against the run. So I don't feel great about my Bears this week going against the Packers.
What do we expect from Green Bay's offense? Like, is Devontae Adams going to tear somebody up again, or what are we looking for? Tony.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think they're going to run the hell out of it. I think the same thing. I think they're going to go back to a couple weeks ago.
Aaron Jones?
Yeah, I think they're going to keep it on the ground quite a lot.
No more Sharon Jones?
No. Hope not anyway.
All right. Fun game. Kansas City Chiefs at the Washington football team. Like I said earlier, these 2 teams have been playing shootout after shootout. Now they play each other. I expect another shootout. Over-under is 55.5. That's high. Both teams are 2-3 and need a win, and the Chiefs are favored on the road by 6.5. Royce, tell me what you think.
This is one of my 3-teamers, so I'm going to give it to Poop or Ballgame. I'll talk about it later.
Talk about it later, all right? What do you guys think?
I think the Chiefs are going to call this the revenge game because they're pissed off the last couple they've lost. I think I would start every Chief I had because Washington's defense sucks. And I might start every Redskin I have because I don't think the Chiefs defense is that much better. I think this is a shootout. I think we go deep and long on these passes.
Yeah, you do.
Everybody are good.
Deep and long.
I like it.
While we go, what did you say? Chubb hunting?
Let's go.
Yep. Chubb
All right. Yeah, so last week I said he was on my poop team. I told you guys that Tyreek Hill was going to be held under 75 yards. Not this week, baby. Put him in all your DFS lineups. He's going well north of 150 yards. He's going to have a huge game, probably get a touchy, maybe 2 touchdowns. We'll see. But it's going to be a big game for Mahomes and a big game for Tyreek Hill. I feel it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Flash Gordon.
And Flash Gordon.
5 and a touchdown.
4 for 75 and a touchdown. That would mean that I better go pick him up off the waiver wire.
Maybe.
I just did, Chuck.
I have a feeling.
All right. On to the next. Los Angeles Chargers at the Baltimore Ravens.
Keith just picked up Josh Gordon.
Did he really?
No, I'm just kidding. He seems to be picking up everybody we talk about.
He does. Chargers at Ravens. Both teams are 4-1. The over-under is 51.5. And the Ravens are favored by 3 at home. All right. What do we like in this game, John?
I like the Ravens. I like Lamar again, obviously. He's not going to come anywhere close to matching what he did last week, but he's going to have to keep up with Herbert because I think Herbert's going to do a lot. I will say the Ravens defense got better as the day went on, but I mean, Wentz had 400 yards against them, so they can obviously be thrown on. So I think this is a shootout from both quarterbacks, and I like Hollywood. I like Mike Williams. I like Andrews, and I like Eckler. And I know you keep underestimating Eckler, but that dude's kind of a stud.
He's the number 2 running back behind Derrick Henry in our league. He's great.
Yeah.
What can you say? He's the man.
No one's
Keep it going. What do you like in this game, Royce?
I like the Chargers. they're becoming my favorite road team. Nice win in Washington, and who else? They just beat somebody. Oh, they beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead.
Yep.
Ravens coming off an emotional, crazy win. I think the Chargers go in there sneakily and win that game. To be honest with you,
Chargers coming off a crazy emotional win as well against Cleveland.
it's true.
True.
Yeah,
We haven't talked too much about that game, but that was an insane freaking game.
crazy.
It's a fun game to watch. There was a lot of fun games to watch. That was one of them.
Wow,
Great
that was
weekend,
good.
man.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of Cleveland, Arizona Cardinals at the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are favored by 2.5, despite Arizona being undefeated. The over-under is 50.5. I think Kyler Murray is going to light them up. I don't think Cleveland's defense is that good. We saw what the Chargers did to him last week. I think the Cardinals have just as many weapons, and I think they're going to do the same thing. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I think it's another shootout. I think Baker has kind of figured some things out. I don't think they're going to be able to rely as much on their running game, so I don't think they go Chubb hunting this week. I do think they go, what's his name? The other one.
Hunt.
Yeah, they go hunt hunting.
With an H.
Yes, definitely with an H. I think he goes off this week because I think he's going to catch a lot of passes out of the backfield. I love Njoku. He had a freaking amazing game last week. Here's why I think Mayfield, and he's on my go-off candidates for the second half of the year. I think he doesn't have to throw to Odell Beckham Jr. every single time because Odell, by the way, doesn't catch them. So he just looked for the open guys and got it to him last week. I mean, he had 50 points in our league. It was a fantastic week, and they still had a 100-yard rusher and another one who came close. And I actually like the Browns in this game.
Okay. You guys got anything to add?
What was the was it with 50.5?
50.5.
Oh man, these are some great games.
Yeah.
I like Cleveland. I don't know if they're going to be able to pull it off, but I just like the game. Cardinals defense is a little. Sometimes they just like look amazing, and sometimes they let some stuff squeak by. So I think if their defense steps up, could be impressive. But I don't know if they will. I don't think they will.
I think they can be run on, Arizona. I don't think Baker's going to have a good game, and I definitely think Beckham's going to suck. But I think Chubb and Hunt, like John said, they're going to do their thing. So they could keep it close. But ultimately, I think Arizona wins this game, and they go to 6-0. There's too many injuries on Cleveland.
I think the defensive line is going to beat the crap out of Arizona's quarterback.
You hope so, because you're getting sick of me talking about Kyler Murray.
I mean, I don't think. Yeah, he didn't look that great this last week.
No, not great.
Yeah, and I think the defensive line is going to get after him, and I think they know how to rush a quarterback like him that's mobile because they play against one all the time. I don't think he has a game. I think this is going to be 2 in a row where he's not that good. Just don't know.
Okay. Monday Night Football. Buffalo Bills at the Tennessee Titans. Over-unders 54, and the Bills are favored by 5.5 on the road. I'm excited for this game, obviously, because I think Josh Allen is going to go ballistic again. Tennessee is porous, and they have a terrible secondary. But I also think Tennessee is going to expose the Buffalo Bills' run defense. I think Derrick Henry is going to go off. What do you guys think?
When does he not?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope he gets 2 quick touchdowns real quick. That's what I'm hoping before the Bills get a little crazy. But I like Tannehill in this one. I like all the wide receivers. I like A.J. Brown again in this one. I think it is going to be a shootout. It's going to be fun.
I'm with you, Royce. I think they stack the box to try to stop King Henry, and I think A.J. Brown has a ginormous game in this.
Right. A lot of first, a lot of second and goals for Tennessee. Let's hope and give it to the horse, and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. I
think A.J. Brown comes up small again, guys. Buffalo's pass defense is ridiculous.
You're small.
I know. I am small. Thank you. Good things come in small packages, bro.
No, it comes in small packages. Small
Keep telling yourself. That's right.
Small packages.
Johnny Ball Games, go with your gut.
It's Johnny Ballgame time. Johnny Ballgame. His segment, Go With Your Gut. This is the segment where we ask John to just riff and go with what's in his gut. He's going to tell us today about some guys that may have underperformed so far this year that could be about to explode. John Riff, it's yours.
So I've got 3 for each of the main positions. So in the quarterback, I got Matt Ryan, I got Carson Wentz, and I got Baker Mayfield. Matt Ryan is just starting to figure out Arthur Smith's offense, started to move the ball around without Calvin Ridley, without Gage, still scoring the 50s in our league. Pitts just was on fire, and I'll talk about him in a few minutes. Carson Wentz, I can't believe I typed that on my paper when I was actually doing it. I can't believe I have Carson Wentz. But he's in an offense. He looked as good as he's looked in 3 years. He looked like he looked that year they made the Super Bowl run when he was being talked about as an MVP candidate. He's just getting back into Frank Reich's offense, and he looked phenomenal yesterday. Any other team, I think, would have beat yesterday because he looked that good. So I would go with Wentz. I think he's going to keep going. If he stays healthy, that's always the caveat with Wentz. I understand that. And then Baker Mayfield, I like him. I think when he doesn't try to force the ball to Odell Beckham, he's a great quarterback. But when he gets all like nervous, I got to get to Odell, he sucks. And so he figured out yesterday, or Sunday rather, that he doesn't have to do that. And you know what? Obi don't get out. Anybody want to say anything about my quarterbacks before we go on?
No, I think those are good calls. And I told you in the beginning, you guys laughed at me about Carson Wentz. He was going to finish as a top 20 quarterback. It looks good.
You're right. You might be right.
He really does look good. But go on with your running backs.
My running backs, this one seems obvious, but he's just not had a great year. Is Dalvin Cook. But don't give up hope, everybody. He's going to get healthy. He's going to be better. I think he's actually going to win somebody a championship towards the end of the year. Zach Moss, we talked about a little bit. That guy's on fire, and he was not great the first couple of weeks. He's going off. And then this one, I know he's only had one really good week, but he did what I thought he was going to do at the beginning of the year. And you guys know I was on this guy in the beginning of the year, and that's Myles Gaskin. I would say they went, oh, that's right, we've got Myles Gaskin. We should use him. And they figured out how to use him in the passing game when they couldn't run, and he did not let anyone down. He was fantastic in passing. Thoughts?
What do you think, Tony?
I agree. I'm just worried about Dalvin Cook's health. I really am. It's is he going to be able to keep going at the pace that he normally goes at? He got hurt a little bit early, and it's making me nervous. So, if he stays healthy, he's going to be great.
I think what they're going to do is spell him more with Madison to keep him healthy, but that's going to just allow him to have more explosive plays when he does get in. I think is what's going to end up happening now. Chuck, anything from you?
Yeah, Myles Gaskin's fool's gold. It was game script. Game script. He still didn't get many carries. He's not the guy that's going to be running in between the tackles. He only got 5 carries. That's right, Royce. Yeah. It ended up being that they were in catch-up mode the whole game, and he caught 10 balls, and that's what he's good at. But that's not going to happen every week.
But he's also good as a running back. They just haven't used him.
They don't like him as a running back.
No,
as your typical, ground and pound running back. They don't use him that way. And Miami's going to be behind a lot, so maybe he will get some balls. But I just think this week was fool's gold. It could be next week he goes back to what it was the week before where he touched the ball like 2 times. We'll see. Royce, you agree?
I agree. It's week 6 ball game. Come on, you gotta figure this out. I don't see Gaskin doing much.
So you guys don't have to believe everything I say.
This is Johnny Ballgame segment, so who on you?
Screw you guys.
You guys want to call it my segment and not agree? It's cool. Whatever.
Wide receivers.
Wide receivers, I've got Cortland Sutton. He's been a little uneven in the beginning. I think he's starting to figure it out. 2 out of the last 3 games has been phenomenal. Chase Claypool, Juju out, Claypool in. Marquez Callaway starting to round into form. And even if Thomas comes back, which I haven't heard anything about him coming back yet, he'll get single coverage, and I think he'll still be wide open. I think Jameson's starting to trust him a little bit more. He's hard to trust. I get it, everybody. I know people are like, oh, I trusted him. But man, he's getting a lot of targets the last 2 weeks. He's gotten 11 targets and 7 targets or something like that. And then lastly, I went 4 on this one, AJ Brown. This one was for you, Poop. Don't give up on AJ Brown. That guy's just way too talented. They'll figure it out. They're going to start boxing, cramming the box. And they're going to start going with him. I think it'll be fine. Thoughts on my receivers?
I totally agree on the AJ Brown thing. Just not this week. But after this week, A.J. Brown's going to be A.J. Brown again. It's coming. And I don't think Julio's ever going to be right, Julio Jones. So they're going to have to start going to A.J. It's coming.
Yeah. Tight ends, I got Hunter Henry. He's starting to get targets from Mac now. Last 2 weeks, he's had 13 targets, 10 catches, 2 touchdowns. That's just in the last 2 weeks. So Mac's starting to figure it out. He's starting to run a Bill Belichick offense. We both know. We all thought it was going to be Jonnu Smith. It turns out it's Hunter Henry. If he can stay healthy, I like him. And then Kyle Pitts, Atlanta went. That's right. We did draft this guy as our first round pick. We should probably vote on him a little bit more. And again, Arthur Smith's offense starting to round into form a little bit. And I know they didn't have the 2 main receivers, so they had to go to Kyle a lot and Cordell. But I think that's just going to help them more when those guys come back. And I think Kyle Pitts keeps going off. And then I already said Dawson Knox is a legitimate tight end. Number 1 will be the best tight end by the end of the season. That's how strongly I feel about that guy.
Number 1?
Yep. I think he's going to take over Kelsey.
Oh.
He's number 2 right now.
And Waller?
Yep. Waller's not doing anything. Have you guys seen?
Yeah, he's been kind of disappointing lately.
He did that last year, though, and then he exploded. Waller's too good. Waller's too good.
Mark Andrews?
He's had 1 good game. Let's
True.
not anoint him the king yet. Dawson Knox has had 2 unbelievably great games in a row. Had a third one that he started to come on towards the back half of that game. I like Dawson Knox a lot, and Diggs isn't doing it. They've got Emmanuel Sanders. Dawson Knox is right in there in that group of main pass catchers. So
looks good. It could be right. Looks good. I don't think he'll take Kelsey over at number 1, but
maybe not. And I said could be right. But if he finished the top 3, I feel like everybody would be pretty happy with that. So and I don't see why that couldn't happen. So that's
you got defenses.
I didn't go with defenses.
Okay, no problem.
I think defenses suck.
Yeah,
because I've been hearing spooky noises in the background. Is the Fantasy Reaper coming? You guys hear it? Tony.
That means I'm taking off. I'm taking off if the Reaper's coming. That scares the shit out of me.
The Fantasy Reaper.
All right, guys, now it's time for our next segment, and you all can tell by the skull and hood, it's time for the Fantasy Reaper. These are people that we think you got to get rid of. You got to get them off your team. All right, so let's do, we're going to go back and forth between Let Royce Cook and the Fantasy Reaper, and let's take, who's your first Reaper? I'm going to go to Royce first, and then I want to see what the Reaper feels about Royce's choice.
I'm going with Cole Beasley, a name we have not said in the last year. You know what's funny? You know what's funny with him? He had 2 games. He had 13 targets, but only 4 targets in the rest. He's a forgotten, I was going to say brother in the offense. There's just too much going on with the Bills right now. With Allen running, obviously Knox, Diggs is getting more involved. I think he's a goner. What do you say, Fantasy Reaper?
Reap?
Sir Royce, if you want me to take care of business, just let me know.
I didn't realize that Mr. T was the Fantasy Reaper. That is...
I pity the fool who takes Cole Beasley.
Oh, pity the fool. You want me to take care of him? I got it for you, fool.
Photo kids.
Funny.
Okay, so Reaper agrees with you. Hey, Reaper, do you have somebody you want to talk about?
Absolutely, I do. How about Melvin Gordon?
Ooh.
The Rooster. He's the Fantasy Rooster. Because everywhere you go, he's a cock block. You made Austin Eckler wait for your chance in Los Angeles. Now look at him go. Then you made Philip Lindsay leave Denver just to get his fair share. And now you're doing it to Javonte Williams, who is by far the most superior running back there. You know what roosters are good for? For protecting their own eggs. And that's ironically exactly what you're doing now as you lay more fantasy eggs week after week. I have a fantasy prayer for you, dear Gordon. And it goes a little something like this. Now I put you down to sleep. where barbecue chicken is what we eat. I'm gonna get you, Gordon.
Wow. Royce, how do you feel about the Reapers?
Wow. I agree. I actually love Williams this week, by the way. Play Williams in your leagues. I think he's going to go off against the Raiders.
I hope so. Those two vulture each other in carries. It's a
I like him. I like him a little better this week.
Yeah, I like him too. It's hard to read out of that skull, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll have to edit it.
It's good though. It was good.
It's actually fantastic.
It's funny. I kind of like the pauses. It's good.
Me too.
It's a little. It's like suspense. It's like watching a horror movie.
It's like watching. If you guys remember the old school like Shock Theater and stuff like that. Maybe, but then the weird guy would be in the interstitial stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So, Royce, let's go back to you now. Your next fantasy reaper.
One more. We talked about him earlier. Brandon Ayuk. He's only had 1 week of double-digit points. The rest, he had targets of 2, 6, 3, and 4. There's no volume there, guys. We tried. We held on to him forever. I think it's time to say aloha, bye-bye.
Reaper's making the throat sign. That's not a good sign, Brandon.
I can't wait to get my axe on Brandon Ayuk. Die, Brandon, die.
He doesn't even have to ask you any questions.
That's it.
Time for the Reaper. Wow. All right, Reaper. Let's go with one last one from you as well.
Absolutely. I got Julio Jones. The man produces more soft tissue than Charmin. He's injured yet again. He hasn't practiced at all this season, and he might miss this week as well. The injury report should permanently say doubtful because your future in the NFL is doubtful. And here comes the Fantasy Reaper to help escort you out.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we have really truly been blessed today to be joined by the Fantasy Reaper. We want to appreciate everything you've done for us here, Chuckles.
Roll with Royce, the degenerate gambler.
All right. So now that I get to be myself again, take off the costume, I can breathe a little bit, I can read. Let's go to our final segment. And we missed this one last week. Royce had a tough, difficult week the week before, and he decided to bail on us. But he's back with a vengeance. Roll with Royce, the degenerate gambler. Normally he makes 2 picks, but he's so freaking confident this week. He wants to give us 3 picks.
3.
All right, guys. Royce, give me what you got.
Here we go, real quick. Cowboys at the Pats, -4. Love the Cowboys this week. The O is humming along, especially the running game. You got to love Zeke and Pollard. Last week, they had a combined 35 rushes. That's and Dak had only 32 passing opportunities. So let's tell you the running game is doing good. And if the running game's doing good, again, it opens up. Chuck, I love CD Lamb this week, just for you, by the way. So take the Cowboys -4, 28-19 in the final. This is for ball game. Packers at the Bears. Packers -4.5. Love the Packers, big man. Apologize.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Last time these guys played, Rodgers threw for 4 touchdowns. He loves the Bears. It's a big game. They're only up 1 game, ball game. This is big.
Oh, I know.
I think they're going to go out there and smack them. Defense is a little shoddy for the Packers, and the Bears defense is playing well, but I just think there's just too much offense for the Packers right now. I really do. And until they let Fields run, I'd see him getting less than 200 yards in the air. I love Aaron Jones, but again, the Rodgers, he feasts on you guys, man. He loves playing. He loves, especially in Chicago. So take the Packers -4.5, 31-18.
Do you have a salt shaker there? Keep salting my wounds.
I know, bud. I still love you.
Thanks, man.
Last one, Chiefs at Washington, -6.5 ball game. You hit it right on the head. You just go back and just watch that segment. Love the Chiefs. Love the Chiefs. A lot of scoring in this, but I think the Chiefs, they're not going to lose 2 in a row. with Mahomes. They're going to go in there and they're just going to light it up. So again, play every cheap you have, and play Washington too. I like the over too, 34-17 in this
What
one.
do you what prop bets do you have in that one?
That, you know what is that? What was the over under? Was 50 something, right?
50 something, right?
Yeah. So I got him 34-14, 51. Yeah. I would just take the points in this one. I like him by a touchdown or more.
Nice.
And again, we talked about the defense for a second. Washington D, right? No bueno. Chiefs are gonna roll.
All right, so give me your 3 picks real quick. They were
Cowboys at Pats -4, Packers at Chicago -4.5, and Chiefs at Washington -6.5. So all road games right there.
All right. I'm doubling down. I'm gonna get my Tesla back this week, guys.
Yeah, dude.
Going for it.
Do it.
All right, so Royce is 5-5-1 on the year, but after this week, he's gonna be 8-5-1.
That's right. That's right, boys.
Right.
Boom.
Let's go.
Let's get back in this.
All right, as you can notice, we lost one of our crew members. The Fantasy Reaper got his ass, but Tony had to run early, but we appreciate Sir Poops a lot, so thank you, Tony, for being on the show.
Boom.
Johnny freaking Ballgame, bringing the noise. I love it. Johnny Ballgame, go with your gut, was a tremendous segment. Good job. Thank you, Johnny. And Royce, the degenerate gambler. Nice job on your picks. You're going to get them back this week. I feel it. I got positive vibes.
Let Royce cook. Let Royce cook.
I'm the Fantasy Reaper, as you can tell. Anyway, guys, we appreciate your support. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified each and every week. We'll be back next week for week 7. Wow. Man, we're already in week 6, going on week 7. This is crazy. We appreciate everything. Thank you very much. And we'll see you next week. Aloha.
Dude.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching, brah. Tune in next week for another episode of Fantasy Sports Island, or the Fantasy Reaper will come for you.